Hello fellow humans and welcome to the Madhouse. I'm Josh and today I'm doing Top 5 Wednesday. Now Top 5 Wednesday is, as I should say every time but I forget because I've got a mind like a sieve, a book club of sorts created by Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey. I'll put her link down below. Today's topic is books that you wanted to see as television series but not films or movies or whatever word you want to call it. My grandmother would probably say pictures, which technically works because movie and pictures comes from the same phrase. It was moving pictures, but it feels a bit strange now. Are we sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Coming in at number 5, we have Maximum Ride by James Patterson. The entire series, not just the first book. I have to say I quite enjoyed the series and it was such a fun idea. I don't actually know what production company wouldn't want to take a go at this. It's James Patterson, so you know it's going to be popular. It's got, well, angels in it. And given that it would almost certainly be an American production, given that America is rated first in the world for a number of people who believe in angels, it could do exceptionally well. I reckon something similar to the weekly format of the Tomorrow People, the more recent series by EW. Not the old BBC one, which was very good, but not quite the format I was thinking. I mean, it does even share some themes. Secretive organisation performing experiments, and I'm not going any further because I'll spoil it. Okay, so what we have for number 4 is the Imsmart Chronicles by Stuart Hill. This is one of my favourite series, and during my teenage years, Blade of Fire, the second book in the series, was my favourite book in joint first with Small Gods by Terry Pratchett. So if I can put the two of them together when you know how much I love Sir Terry's writing, you know it's got to be good. Now, I should point out, don't get me wrong, they would probably make fantastic films, but there is a hell of a lot of detail in them that would probably be missed out if they did. This way you could give it all of the concentration it needs. It would, I mean, I don't want to use this descriptive because the only similarity they really face is complexity and a fantasy world, but similar to what HBO has done with Game of Thrones. 3 series would be necessary at first, although one could potentially do 4 and start off with the prequel novel, but that's not so good an introduction, I think. And if you start with The Cry of the Ice Mark, you can give the Hippolytan, the werewolves, the vampires, the snow leopards and the Polypontus, and of course the Ice Mark, all of the focus it deserves, which it couldn't get in a 2 hour, maybe 2.5 hour long film. For number 3 then, we have The Meaning of Life by Douglas Adams and John Lloyd. There should be a sticker on the front of this actually saying this book will change your life, because of a joke running from it, with the definition of the word live, meaning live, noun, a book the contents of which are totally belied by its cover. For instance, any book the dust jacket of which bears the words, "This book will change your life." Unfortunately, I bought this second hand, so no sticker. Still, gotta love charity shops. It's a book full of words made up for things that there aren't words for. They're typically made from taking the names of British places, but there is a Dutch version of the book using Dutch places, Finnish using places in Finland and Germany and France, etc. But these two came up with it first for the UK because we have some very interesting names. For example, Pune, satisfied grunting noise made when sitting back after a good meal, and that is named after a real place called Pune. Another fun one, let's see, hickling, participial verb, the practice of infuriating theatregoers by not only arriving late to a centre row seat, but also apologising loudly to and patting each member of the audience in turn. It's just very good British humour, and I love it. And I reckon as a television series it would work perfectly if Stephen Fry were to tour the country and visit some of the places where these more interesting words come from. I mean, Stephen is television's foremost man of words, so it would work quite well, I imagine. And even if it didn't, it would be a lot of fun trying to find out. So, number 2 is the Sigma Force series by James Rollins. I mean, each individual book could be a whole new series, or season I suppose if you're American, and it would be like a combination of 24, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., especially with the secrets in that one, and the Da Vinci Code because of the history in it, but it's, I've said before, far better researched. I would especially like to see how they'll handle Bloodline. That one quite heavily involves the President of the United States and a really long family, and talks about a conspiracy that's gone back for over 1300 years. And it's truly intriguing. I personally would love to see Martin Sheen as the President, not least because I thought he was amazing in The West Wing as President Bartlett, but also because this character calls exactly for someone who can do that sort of thing, someone who's extremely charismatic but capable of an intense rage and being deathly serious when they need to be. Here is an honourable mention before I get to number 1 on my list. It is The Spider Archives by J.P. Babington. Yes, I know, shameless self-promotion there. It's a sci-fi series about the development of artificial intelligence and teleportation simultaneously, and the impact they would have upon society and humanity as a whole, not what it could mean for the species. I mean, I personally would like to think it's great, but I may be a little bit biased, and I do really have to finish writing it first, but I would love to see it as a television series anyway. If you want more information, you can visit my blog and see the downward spiral of sanity as I try to write this and everything else on my list. Number 1. This one is most definitely cheating, and you'll certainly realise why in a moment. It is the What series from Discworld by Terry Pratchett. That's every one of them from Guards to Snuff. I would love to see a format where they solve essentially a crime of the week, and it would be kind of like a CSI or NCIS Ankh-Morpork, with Vimes as Gibbs and Vetinari as whoever happens to be in charge at the time. Oh wait a minute, here's the part where it's cheating, they're already making it. So Terry was in negotiations with this in 2011, and he set up his own production company to go about producing the Watch TV series and Good Omens, which is still in the works, both of them are. But to Terry's daughter Rihanna, who is an excellent writer in her own right for video games such as the Lara Croft series, is writing the script, and it's due to start filming this year, so I'm really excited about it. And that's it then for this video. There should be an extra video this evening, because it is the election tomorrow on the 7th of May, if you didn't know. And I just wanted to remind everybody that they have to vote, and I'm going to do a quick run through of some of them, well, of the main policies of the major parties across the UK. And as always, have a nice day, and goodbye!